Hello and welcome to this video short course about the multi-EA 5100 elemental analyzer. My name is Oliver Büttel. I'm the North American product manager for Analytik Jena's chemical analysis product line. The multi-EA 5100 is a combustion-based trace elemental analyzer specifically designed for applications in the oil and gas, refineries, as well as petrochemical industries. Today we are going to take a closer look at its capabilities at analyzing all kinds of different matrices in these industries, from solids over liquids to gases and LPG type samples. The multi-EA 5100 can analyze sulfur, nitrogen, chlorine and carbon in solids, liquids, gases and LPG type samples. It is therefore the most versatile elemental analyzer for these industries. During the combustion of the sample, the analyte elements are converted into characteristic gases, which then in turn are detected with specific detector modules for each element. Thanks to its modular design, the instrument can be configured according to your lab's analytical requirements. Depending on the types of samples you are analyzing, different sampling modules are available. The MMS multi-matrix sampler can be used for solids as well as liquids in both horizontal and vertical combustion modes. For very volatile or very viscous liquids, it is also available with the cooling and heating option. In the horizontal combustion mode, the MMS is combined with the ABD, automatic boat drive, with its unique flame sensor. The flame sensor monitors the combustion behavior of each sample and actively controls the combustion process. This ensures a complete combustion every time and eliminates the risk of soot formation. For the analysis of gases and LPG type samples, dedicated sampling systems are available. The unique double furnace of the multi-EA 5100 enables an easy conversion between horizontal and vertical combustion modes. This means that each sample type can be analyzed with the optimum configuration, giving the instrument a unique application flexibility. And now let's go to the lab and get our calibration standards and the samples ready. We recommend to use these calibration kits. They are available for the different elements and in different concentration ranges. Working with these ready-made calibration kits is very convenient because all we have to do is fill them into the sample vials, and it also gives us the confidence to know that the concentrations are accurate. It's important to immediately close these vials to prevent evaporation or contamination and to store them in the refrigerator. Samples are diluted by weight. Here we use xylene as a diluent, and later we will enter the accurate weights of the samples and the diluent into the analyzer software to account for the dilution factor in the results calculation. It's important to thoroughly mix the sample dilutions to make sure they are absolutely homogeneous before we fill them into the autosampler vials. Once we're done, all the standards and samples are inserted into the sample tray, which we will then place on the multi-matrix sampler. And once we've entered the sample IDs and weights into the software, we are ready to analyze. At first, the multi-matrix sampler will do a number of rinse cycles, discarding the sample into the waste port. Then the sample is slowly drawn up into the syringe and injected onto the quartz boats for horizontal combustion. The injection port is cooled to prevent the evaporation of volatile sample components. Now the quartz boat is introduced into the combustion furnace, and we can monitor how the signals develop for the different elements during the combustion in the software. In the upper left corner of the screen, you can see the real-time display of the self-check system. The self-check system of the multi-EA 5100 not only recognizes all the installed system components, but it also monitors the detectors, gas flows and temperatures in real time. This ensures that all the parameters are within their specifications during the entire analytical run. Once the combustion is complete and the signal has returned to the baseline, the software will integrate the signals and calculate the concentrations. While the liquid samples are running, we can go back to the lab and start preparing the solid samples. Here all we have to do is weigh them accurately onto quartz boats, and we do not need new calibration standards. We will continue using the calibration that we've just established. Now the liquid samples are done, and it's time to convert the multi-matrix sampler to the solids configuration. First, we remove the reservoir for the rinsing solvent and replace it with the boat sensor. The boat sensor will later detect the quartz boats and make sure that they are being transported correctly. Then we remove the dosing syringe and replace it with the gripper, which will later transport the quartz boats between the different positions. The last thing we have to do is put the solid sample tray on the autosampler and remove the quartz boat that we used for liquids analysis before. The software automatically recognizes the changes we've made and ensures that the instrument configuration matches the method parameters. And now we can start running the first sample. After placing the sample in the sampling port, the automatic boat drive will introduce it into the combustion furnace. At the same time, the flame sensor monitors the combustion process in real time, and if the combustion gets too vigorous, it will pull the sample back into the colder zone of the combustion tube until the reaction has ceased. This way, the flame sensor optimizes the combustion process for each individual sample, always ensuring complete combustion and avoiding soot formation in the combustion tube. Once the analysis is done, the quartz boat is brought back to the sample tray, and we can review the results in the software. I hope you enjoyed this video about multi-matrix analysis with the Multi-EA 5100. If you'd like to know more, we'll be happy to schedule an in-depth review to go over your application requirements and find out how your lab can benefit from the Multi-EA's innovative technologies.